We've made a great start on Mandala number 7.
Hey guys, welcome back to Frances Quilts. Today we're ready to start on Mandala number 7. I think it's going to look great. I love this little blue that I'm working on here, and I can't wait to get the machine and start sewing on it. But before we do that, I promised you that I would show you the quilt, the scrap quilt that I finished quilting a couple of weeks ago. I'm really pleased with all the quilting on this, from the loopy meanders that I started out with to fill in that big space, to these wonderful big daisy type flowers that I have in the center. And then these two borders just worked out beautifully. I love this inner border and then continuing that sort of idea and design into the outer border. So there it is. It's finished. I think it looks great. So let's go to the machine and start quilting mandalas.
Okay, as we start, we've already added in this little flower here in the center. And what our first step is going to be is to do a straight line from one of these points right here up to the point next to it. And then back down, and then up and down and up and down, just like that. Once we get to the other side, we're going to come from here and we're going to do them just the opposite, going back the other way. So it should give us some crosses in the middle there. Let's just start with the first one and then we'll decide where to go from there. So I'm going to start here and I'm going to come from this point to this point right here and then back down to that point right there. Coming forward is fairly easy. It's the going back down that I'm having trouble with keeping those straight. That's getting better. Alright, I'm back where I started, and now I'm debating if I really want to go around that and do it going the other direction. I think I'm just going to continue on with my design for right now, and if I decide to come back in and add more alternating lines in this first section, I will do that. Lines that come from here down to here and back up. I'm just not sure, so I think I'm going to leave that for the moment and do the rest of it, and then I can always come back in and add that later if I want to. All right, the next step we're going to do is come back out, work our way back out here, travel over that line, and get back out to this next row here. This line is going to come from here, from one of these lines, up to here. When I get up here, I'm going to make a little loop right here. I'm going to come back down to here. Now I'm going to echo that line, so I'm going to bring over and back up here, back down, over and back, and then come this direction. That's probably not a great explanation, so let's just do it and you can see it while it's happening. First step, from one point to the other, just like I've done in the previous one. When I get up here, I'm going to make a little loop up through here. Come back down to the other side. All right, now I want to come over a little bit, come back up to the center, back down, over a little bit more, back up, and back down. And then let's go over here, and we're ready to do the next one. Now remember, the reason we do things in threes or in odd numbers is because if we come here, then we come back this direction, and then we come back this direction, it means that we can continue going in that same direction. So let's just repeat this same process over a whole bunch of times. One thing to notice is that anytime I come to one of these points, whether it's here or here or here, I'm trying to take a couple of stitches in that point before I keep going. The reason is if you're moving too fast, it can pull up that bobbin thread and turn it into a curve rather than a point. So I always try to take 1 or 2 stitches there when I get to each of those points. All right, that round is finished. I'm going to need to break my thread to do the second round, and I'll do that before we start over again. All right, my thread is broken. I'm going to get ready to start this next section. We're going to do this exact same motif, but we're going to do it the other direction. We're going to come from here to here, make a circle, back down to here, over, up, down, over, up, down, continue on. Right, exact same motion. It's obviously going to be a little bit bigger scale because we these sections get larger as we go out. But let's do that. Okay, we're going to stitch from here to back to here first. Do a loop, stitch back over, in a little bit, up, back out, over, up, and back. All right, that is our motif. Let's quilt that a few more times now.
Well, someone forgot to push record before she started quilting after lunch, so I didn't get that last part videoed as well as I would have liked, but you still get the idea. I like how it looks. I think that these little circles that I've put in here have done a really nice job of filling in those areas, and I'm looking forward to adding the next 2 rounds to it. Well, I think we've made a good start on mandala number 7. I like how this is looking. I think we are going to have a lot of fun next week adding the next 2 rows to it, and we'll have this one all finished up as well. So be sure to come back next Friday to see how this mandala finishes up. Well, that's it for today, and as always, I thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next time on Frances Quilts. Remember, if you like what you've seen, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Please check out my website and daily blog at francesquilts.com, and I can be found on Facebook and Instagram at Frances Quilts. Thanks so much for joining me. Hope to see you again soon.